All right, I'm back in business. So let's get started here. Copper cell update. So this is the original one I had with copper nitrate and, of course, the little filter basket, which filled up with a bunch of gunk and basically was just a disaster to deal with. The second go around, I did copper sulfate, made it, put it in here, and then tried this with the same filter basket, right? And I actually didn't get any of it to plate out onto the stainless. I emptied this out and I ran this through the filter a couple of times. And I didn't get any copper plating on the stainless at all. So, which I kind of figured by using one of my stir rods, and I couldn't feel any crystals. I couldn't feel like I was, it feels like sandpaper, at least the SilverStoll and when I had the copper nitrate in here. So I moved on and I put this in here. I got a little piece of rubber at the bottom and then a piece of rubber here. So it wasn't, there was no contact on the stainless steel. That was basically just holding my electrolyte. And we can see where it was in the solution. Now, I've got some silver cementing out, and this here I want to say is copper. This guy. That's on there. Let's see. Let's see if I can get it off with this. Okay, so you can, I don't think you're going to be able to see it. Anyways, there is copper underneath here, but we can see that there's also silver plating out on this. Now, what I think where I went wrong was I put distilled water in here to rise the level of my electrolyte. And what I think happened was I allowed, I don't know if I freed up some acids that way or allowed them to consume, because then we had a bunch of silver in the electrolyte, cemented silver out. And so I dried that out and we got a little bit there. So I didn't put this in there yet. I wanted to show you what came out of there. This was just floating around in solution. So what I think was happening was the distilled water, we were then able to use some of that sulfuric acid to consume the silver. It was going into solution and then cementing out on the copper. That's what I think happened. There's much smarter people here in my my audience that probably know exactly what was happening. But I've been doing a lot of research on the cells themselves, and it's kind of how I came up with this and understanding why the solution is changing. So just like as we're trying to cement stuff out, you got that reactivity scale of metals, and anything higher that's higher reactivity than basically what we're trying to plate out goes into solution. Everything that's less reactive stays behind as a solid, which is why it was weird that we have copper sulfate, we had copper or silver going into solution, basically making it past that bag or that filter. So I think that's what was happening. But so now I've got a couple of other things. So I've run this cell. I've had it going for about a week. Now I'm on my second set of anodes because I actually had my my protector, my supply protector, that little breaker I got, it popped because the anode basically was touching the cathode. And that's what we put that there for, right? So you can kind of let it do its thing. If it gets too big, it protects itself. Anyway, So I haven't touched the anodes yet. Basically, I just got them submerged in water. And this is regular tap water. So I'm kind of mad that I did that instead of distilled water, which is what I really should have done. Because I want to figure out how to get rid of there's another slime in there other than the anode slimes. It's a very light slime film that kind of sits on top. But there's a couple other things that happen and that I figured out that I want to kind of take you along for the ride. So we got to play a little backup here. So I'm going to get rid of this. We don't need this anymore. We don't need this. And we're going to look at that. So I'll show you the anodes. I got to wash that. Let me get some gloves on. So I got a designated set for this copper cell because it's that electrolyte gets pretty not so fun to deal with. All right, so let's go ahead and slide this on over and go ahead and pull this out. So there is my copper. You can see we got some pretty good crystals there. Here, let me zoom in a little bit. There we go. So we got some pretty good crystals here. So I don't think this is going to be 3/9 fine copper right off the bat. I think my solution gets dirty too fast, and we start to plate out the less reactive metals. You know, the zinc, the nickel, that could all possibly be in here still. So I have to run. I'll scrape this off, and then I'll run this copper again through another cell, which I want to do designated copper sulfide again. So I'm not done with the copper sulfide, but look, we got some pretty nice crystal growth there. So it's working really well with the copper nitrate. All right, I'll go ahead and wash my gloves off here, or at least wipe them off. All right, let me turn my cell off. Now for the fun part. Actually, I'm going to have to turn the camera around. So let me go like this quick. All right. Now, my power supply is off. Go like this. So, this is just an ammo can. Had an extra one. So I got to redo my designations here. So I had minus and plus. It's actually plus and minus. And why I did that is this is going to leak on me. So like that. All right. So here it is. And I know it looks not so good, but I want to show you a thing that I do, because I add some more electrolyte and some chemistry happens that is way above my my knowledge and it clears up. So I'll show you that here in a little bit. I know it looks really bad, but I wanted to save this for you. So what I've been doing with my cathodes, or anodes, excuse me, is basically I just melt up a bar, I drill a hole, or like this one kind of, this was like the last one, so it is, you can see there's some slag there, and I ran out, so there was a little hole of, just from the pour. Let's see here, and some of these are newer. So like this is a newer bar, so it, you know, you can't see too much action off of there. Let's see this one. This is one of the original ones. So we can see that it's getting eaten up pretty good. got another one here. And then the other one's new. And then so what I do is I just run a copper wire. And that's why I got special gloves, because these are pretty nasty. So we can see we got some copper plating out again. Nice crystals on that other side. And I can't see the slime, so we get some on the actual wires. But I just basically bend this down. I bend these wires down, slide that off of there, and then put a new piece of pipe on. So, but what my hopes are is to take a razor blade off and scrape that off. I haven't tested that yet because I really wanted to kind of take you guys along for the ride here on this one. So it's been put on hold, and that's why I saved them. But I'm hoping I can scrape those off with the razor blade. At least the crystals that I plated, or yeah, the copper crystals that I plated out. And then basically just keep reusing those, because I mean it doesn't go away, it adds to those. So that's what I got. And basically what I did was I just run 2 sets of wires. Kind of laced them like a shoe. So I just tied a little pigtail into it, drilled holes, and then I just ran it so that they all come together, and then I can just hit my attach my my alligator clips right here. They're out of the environment, so they don't get all those elements. See, they've kind of taken a beating already from the SilverStoll. So that's kind of what's nice about this. It keeps them out of the elements, protects them a little bit. But yeah, it was just 2 wires, run them. I make little hooks out of the wire, and I set it in there, and it works pretty well. I haven't had any issues with it. I'm only going to be able to put a little bit of, well, I can't do it. My exhaust fan finally gave it up. So I came down here to take this video, and it's not on. So it's nice for you guys because it's actually nice and quiet. And, oh, okay, so new phone, right? Sent my old one to get fixed. Get it back Tuesday. Unable to repair it. I'm like, God, you got to be kidding me. I wasted all that time. So, of course, I call them again, and they're like, okay, well, we got to send you a new phone now. So I got a new phone. I'm interested to see what it sounds like. If it sounds any better, if you guys can hear me any better. All right, but back to the exhaust fan. Exhaust fan is bad, so I don't want to add any copper nitrate to this because it produces a lot of nitrous oxides, or yeah, nitrous oxide gas. Anyway, we get all the orange fumes, and I don't want to create those right now with the exhaust fan off. But it clears it up tremendously. So like all that foam on the top goes away as soon as I add it. So it must be utilizing the leftovers, which is weird. I wouldn't think there would be any because, I've cemented out the silver and all the other stuff in it twice. So I cement everything out, and then I let it sit again, and then I cement it out again, make sure that there's nothing in the bottom. So I mean, I would imagine they were all utilized, but like I said, that's where the chemistry is like a little above my knowledge. So that's the copper cell. It's working really well. I'll make a separate video. I just want to get one out there for you guys. I'm really excited. I got my phone back today, and first thing I do is sign into my YouTube and download a couple of my pictures. Oh, and they factory reset the other one, so I couldn't get any of that other good stuff back. I was kind of bummed about that. Lost a lot of pictures. Anyway, let's see. I think that's it for down here. I'll show you a couple more projects. Oh, I'll show you this. My cement silver. It's getting up there. Get that in there. Probably dust that a little bit more in there. There we go. Our journey to a kilo coming together. Oh, so I bought another instrument. Got this guy here, and I've been using this for my forks and knives and spoons. Basically set it in here with some sulfuric acid and nitric acid, and it strips all the silver off. And then I basically just dilute the solution. Basically, I just pour it into the rinse water off. I have 2 rinse waters, so I can put one in, you know, after I take it out of here, I rinse it off in the first one, and then I would put it into a second one. I'll do a video on it. It's actually, like I said, Ronnie showed me this. It works really good, and this needs to be cleaned. I actually dropped it, so I gotta put some hot water in here and put it back on the thing to test it. So I would hate to have sulfuric acid in here and it cracks, so got to do a little investigating on that. But now I need to come up with a way. I need a pan, a big glass pan that I can put all my my bigger plates and the utensils that are not going to fit into the graduated cylinder. All right, let me show you what I've been doing. All right, so I got a couple more goodies. I'd like to give this away. These are off of furnaces, and it's a breaker, so they work really well for cells. So basically, you just put your incoming power, your outgoing power, and it's a little 3-amp breaker. So if you get a short, probably works better for silver cells versus copper cells, because some of the copper cells, or my amperage off the copper cells, like sometimes around 5 amps, 4 amps, right around there. But 3 amps would work perfect for a silver cell. So if you're interested in this, let me know and I'll send it to you. But I've been doing some lots of boards. So I've got some gold-plated stuff starting up. Oh, wouldn't be a video without the cat in it. I've been saving my contacts and my silver plate for you, so that's building up. Quite a bit of them in there. Nothing crazy. We got a little silver out of them last time, but I'll try it again. We'll wait till we get a bunch of them, though. And then I've got a bunch of gold bearing items. So I've got like some more pins, a bunch of IC chips, LEDs, little switches. These are like sockets for chips to go into, the IC chips. There's a little gold in there. Yeah, LED strip. So a bunch of stuff like that. I've got a bunch of diodes. Little transistors. I got a bunch of them. I can see a little gold right at the end there, actually. But this is actually probably a pound, half a kilo. And then I got my gold corner BGAs, the tops of them anyway. A couple of them in here. More transistors. I had them all sorted in these, but then it started to, you know, all my diodes was spilling into 2 of these. So I'm like, I'll just put them all together. And so I got took these just to see, you know, what was on here. And I'm not sure if that's silver or aluminum. But I suppose there's only one way to find out, huh? A couple of big... Let's see here. There's an LED strip. So yeah, I've been doing a little collecting. Get back into some e-waste stuff here. Still doing the copper giveaway too. So I got a couple of these guys to start with. And then after I get rid of these guys, I'll go ahead and start giving away my 3/9 fine silver or copper. So I should have that second cell up. I got to test the sulfuric acid method. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make another batch of sulfuric acid, and like you guys mentioned, I'm going to be a little more scientific about it. Get an actual weight. So what I've read is that I need about 75 grams of copper sulfite for the size cell I have. So it's actually not as much as I expected it to be. But I'm going to try that with, I'm going to do a second batch. So it's the after it comes out of the copper nitrate cell, it's going to go into the copper sulfate cell. And at that time, there shouldn't be any precious metals in there, because the copper nitrate cell should take all the precious metals out. It's kind of like a sloppy workhorse, but it seems to be doing the job. And then the second copper cell will be to purify the copper that plates out. So hopefully there's not a lot of other metals plating out, especially if I keep adding the copper nitrate to it, because then I can keep the copper ions in there, and then that's what basically keeps everything moving. So if I can get that refined, that copper 3/9 fine, I'll start making some bars, and those will be 3/9, and I'll make sure I stamp 3/9s on those. But these are cool looking. I like this one a lot. That was the first one. Kind of bummed about this one. Maybe I'll redo this one. But yeah, and just a reminder, how to get these is the Friday videos. It's too soon for this one, but next week we'll start it, and then it should be a pretty easy or pretty easy giveaway, because there's only going to be two more Fridays in this month. So if we can get it, a couple people to send me some stuff, you will be part of the draw for the copper bar. And yeah, let me know if you need this too. I'd like to keep it in the country, but yeah, let me know. All right, and here's the test, if you can hear me any better this way. So I just wanted to apologize, sorry I haven't been getting videos out. I guess life happens, stuff breaks. Won't be the first time I broke my phone, and I can tell you it won't be the last. Gotta love insurance, gotta love it. It's been a while. I used to be terrible with breaking phones, terrible. I'd get, I don't know, I was at least good for 1 a year. And the older I get, the much more careful I am with stuff, because it's expensive. So I ordered a different, so the problem is I've got like a wallet / phone case, right? So it would fold open, and it wouldn't fit in the tripod I have, so I would take it out of the case, mount it in the tripod, and then put it back in the case. So I ordered a different case and a different wallet so that I can keep it in the case, keep it in the screen protector while working on the phone. or well, filming. But I still need to get a camera and a computer set up for these videos, because I truly enjoy making these videos. And man, I missed our conversations. I've had, you know, there's been a couple of relationships that I was kind of bummed about not talking about, you know, just the refining stuff. You talk to normies, we'll call them, that don't refine, and you know, it goes right past their head. They have no interest or no idea what you're talking about, or they look at you like you're, you know, a magician or something. It's not with science. It's actually pretty cool. But so I missed those conversations, and I'm just glad to have it back, be in touch with you guys again. You know, I really enjoy it. I really enjoy the communication and the feedback, and, you know, especially when I mess something up, the laughs. You know, I'm not afraid to show those. You know, quite a bit of those. But yeah, thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one.